Welcome, fight fans, to the Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast. Your Fight Talk Authority. Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard ORTIZ.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo. Streaming live and worldwide. Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast.
Fresno, California. We're live here in Mad Production Studios. Welcome to the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, the podcast that's kicking everybody in the ass and talking about someone who's kicking everybody in the ass. And I'm talking about someone that's kicking doubt, someone that's kicking being mediocre, someone that's kicking, you know what, I just don't want to just stay here anymore, someone that's just going to put their foot in their ass. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the one and only, the top-ranked trainer of Top Rank's first youngest ever, Gabriel Flores Jr., signed with Top Rank Boxing at the age of 16 years old. My gosh, that is so young. I mean, he had his first fight and professional and went to the prom at the same time. Nevertheless, I have with us the trainer who's going to have the whole show to himself, along with my co-host with the UFC veteran himself, Mr. Cole Escovedo. Welcome to the show, Cole. Man, talk to us about that trip down here. I can't hear you, Mike Cole, but we'll work that out.
Oh, I can kind of hear it. No, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're coming right in,
I was
huh?
going through the intersection. Some ding-dong decided he was just going to go through a red light.
Yeah.
Ended up T-boning the back end of a car,
man.
And then that car spun into a car that was trying to make a right turn.
Well, I'm glad you're safe, man. I'm glad you're safe. Like my man right here, he just literally got off a plane, man, driving from, flying from Vegas to, I believe, Stockton, the 209 again. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? I want to give the show to him right now, man. Let's make this happen. Gabriel Flores Sr., welcome to the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, my man.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How's life treating you? We need this mic on, KP.
Good, man. I'm doing good, man. You know, I can't complain.
Oh, man. You know what? You're always on the go, man. You don't let anything stop you. You don't let the coronavirus stop you. You don't let a bad situation stop you. You don't let somebody who doesn't believe in you stop you. You seem to shoot for the stars, and if the moon gets in your way, you'll move it the hell out of the way. Is that safe to say?
Man, you gotta be like that, man. If you worry about the wrong shit, you ain't gonna get shit done.
You know what? I agree with you. That's big time. And my man, Cole Escovedo, at one point in time, he took his whole career in his own hands. And the next fight, you're fighting in the UFC.
Yep. You got to make waves sometimes. If you're not making waves.
Hey, Rich, don't worry about shit you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. But let's talk about what you can control, man. I mean, you're making some major moves, man. There's different rumors floating around. There's good rumors floating around. And then you just got your haters. But that's every day. They're the ones who keep us going on the internet, the website, and basically they're buying tickets, man.
That's right.
You just signed a big deal, a big move with a management team. James Prince, my man. I mean, whatever he touches literally turns to gold. Talk to us about that move you made. How are you handling the success that's been coming your way and your life has been changing? Because literally you've been physically making moves, but we'll get into that. Talk to us about the big management move you made.
Well, man, first of all, you know, Jay got a lot of connections, a powerful guy, man, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he's a real dude, you know. It's for me and Jay, it was like, you know, real recognized real. We understand each other, you know. We come from the same background, you know. And when we seen the contract wasn't that long, you know. We had a good conversation, about an hour, 2 hours, you know. And he's a straight up, you know, he's a solid dude, man. We come, you know, we have a code that we both know, you know, street code. Like, he got his word, I got my word, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a contract with Rick, man, and we did our thing, you know. Rick got paid everything for everything he did. I mean, Rick's still on the team. We just added Jay, you know. With some more arsenal to our shit.
So basically, we're talking about a high-powered offense, and now you just signed a franchise player, the player that's going to take you to that Super Bowl, the player that's not only going to take you to the Super Bowl, but win the Super Bowl, win multiple Super Bowls, different rings, Pro Bowls. Is that who we're talking about? I mean, somebody that's just a game changer.
Right. No, you're right. 100% right. He worked with Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, you know, Roy Jones Jr. If Jay fucks with you, Jay don't fuck with just anybody, man. So it's a privilege.
Hey, man, you know what? It has to be. I mean, I was reading his bio, and you know what? If it doesn't stop. I mean, I mean, you know that from that movie, I mean, he literally still has his lunch money from the 3rd grade. He really does. And I'm not just saying it because, you know, that was a part in the movie. Somebody said that, but he literally does.
Wow.
I mean, that's the way he is. He knows where everything is lined up. He knows the proposals that are coming his way, and he's making big deals. And one of the big deals he made was including you. Talk to the viewers, the fans, and the followers. How did that conversation take place, man? Was it over a beer? Was it in the gym? You guys contacted each other, or he loved what you were doing?
I've been talking to them for like a year, Antonio and Jay. You know, we met him in Corpus Christi about a year and a half ago, and we've been talking, and everything's timing, Rich. You know what I'm saying? If everything is timing. You know what I'm saying? Everything has its time, and it was time. You know, Junior stepping up for his first 10-rounder. We're getting closer to a world title shot, you know, and I think it was a perfect move.
Well, you know what, go ahead.
The thing is this, look, for me, for my vision with Junior is for him to be a global star, not a local star, but a global star, and that's a step towards that, you know, and I have a big vision, you know what I'm saying? You know that, Rich. I talked to you for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I have a big vision, and we had to put some hustle behind this fucking muscle now.
Well, there it is there. Cole, listening to that fire in those moves that are being made, those are major moves. These are moves like when you play chess. Definitely not checkers or a coloring book. When you're hearing this, what are you feeling?
It's clearly a long term.
Absolutely right, 100%. It's fucking chess, not checkers, you know? All these guys, you know, they could think what they want to think, say what they want to say, hey, but our money just doubled.
Yeah, it's definitely a long-term, big-picture goal. They're thinking about 5-6 years down the road, not 5-6 months down the road. They're trying to look at what's going to happen 5 years down the road for this kid and where they want him at that point.
Yeah.
Hey, we got big plans. This has a lot more than just a management thing. It's a lot more than just a signing. It's big mega fights in the future. Promise.
It's a new brand.
Big mega fights. So watch out for that. Stay tuned, man. You already know.
Well, you know what? I'm still excited. I'm still holding on to that Stockton arena, man. I mean, because when you and you know what? We had a beer over this. We had some lunch, and you said we passed by there, and you said, "Rich, check this out. This is the way it's going to go down." And everything you said, and then some, it happened. Down from like the convertible 64 that took him from the hotel to the auditorium, and not only that, but Gabriel, when are we going to see you again? Because one, it was very successful. Two, Gabriel Jr. showed the world I am who I say I am. And three, the ticket sales were through the roof. And I know you are a hands-on person. I know you were out there yourself marketing and solely responsible for a lot of those ticket sales.
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
I mean, Rich.
Yeah.
I sold $100,000 in tickets in 7 days, and I'm not exaggerating one fucking penny. 7 days, 100 racks.
That's a lot of tickets.
That's a lot of fucking tickets.
That is
because we've been popping in Stockton since Junior was little. You know what I'm saying? People know me from my background, from, you know, crazy background, but you know, they like the story. They like Junior, you know. We're really from Stockton. You know, we really do this shit. Like the shit I say, that shit is real. It's not Mickey Mouse like these other cats, you know, talk this and talk that and you know, with their little goofy swag. That shit is not us. We're real.
You know what?
And look, Junior will sell tickets, bro. You take Junior to Reno, he'll sell tickets. You take him anywhere, he's gonna sell tickets. Not a lot of fighters can say that. I mean, there's actually fighters talking shit right now about Junior. They want to fight Junior. I'm like, bro, you don't even make $5,000. How the fuck do you want to fight Junior? Junior's a 6-figure kid. If you're gonna fight Junior, you better bring at least 6 figures to the table. If not, I don't want to hear you talk, motherfucker. You don't even got 10 fights. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear none of those kids. Like,
they're just kind of wasting his time. If they're worried
about their own career as much as they're worried about us, they'd probably be pretty good.
Man, I mean, you know what? When somebody passes by, Cole, you want a piece of them, or you just want a piece of what they have. Either you believe that you truly can compete, or I just want to catch some of that wave, some of that glitter, some of those, and I hate to use this word, Gabriel Sr., Cole, some of that leftovers. Because sometimes those plates, when you have that steak, and like people just get up and leave, there's still a big chunk of meat left.
Exactly.
Hey, check this out, Rich. This is the way it is. There's two type of people in this fucking world. If I pull up at a light and a Lamborghini pulls next to me, I'm going to be like, God damn, how do I get that? Let me talk to this motherfucker and see if he can shine a little light on me. And there's another person. Oh, fuck that dude. He's probably selling drugs. He's probably, you know, that motherfucker will never touch that Lambo. But the other dude will.
The guy that's actually going to take a chance and pick his brain.
Mindset, bro. It's mindset. Look at
my
Jay
mic on?
Prince. Jay Prince started from Rapper Lot Records.
A little bit.
It didn't matter where the fuck he started from because he has the mindset to win. That's all it takes.
Timing.
It could be fucking. You could be a golfer. Fucking. If you have that mindset, Rich. If I didn't do boxing, I'm still gonna make millions, bro. One way or the fucking other.
Cole, you're listening to this right now, and this guy is just so focused and he is so determined, man. What's your take on this? First of all, Cole, I got to ask you, man, which one are you? Is this guy selling drugs, or how do I get a Lambo like that? Which guy are you, Cole?
He's probably selling drugs, but I want to know his business strategy because he's got a Lambo. I don't care how he got it. He's whatever he's doing, I want his Lambo. It doesn't matter if he's selling drugs or not. I don't care what he's doing. He's got a Lambo. I don't. I want one. So
you're listening to a father right now who's taking care of his son's career since day one. He wants him, and he's going to drive that Lambo, whatever it takes. He's making big moves right here. When you listen to that, where do you see this kid developing, and where do you see his progress taking him in a year from now?
A household brand name sounds like what they're shooting for right now, and it
Absolutely.
seems like they've got the direction, the drive, and the focus, and they know where they need to get to. So.
And the bottom line is the kid can fight. I mean, he's a performer. I mean, when all lights were on him, he took care of business.
Which is key.
Yeah,
which is always key.
Exactly. You still got to, you get the opportunity. You still got to deliver. Gabriel, let's talk to us real quick. And going into that dressing room, let's bring it back a little bit. Stockton, California. I mean, sold out there. Everybody was there to see Little G. That walk from the dressing room into the ring, what was his makeup like? I mean, how was he feeling? Because he definitely performed that night.
Man, he was happy. He was really happy, man. He was like I think like one of the best things that happened to him in his life, man. All his people were there, they had pictures of his mom in the stands, the crowd was fucking loud. It was nuts, it was really loud. I mean, the commentator said it was louder than the MGM Grand with all those people, like, cause Stockton people are really passionate,
Yeah.
They love their city, man. And they rock women, they rock with us hard.
They do. So here's the question, man. When is it going to happen again? When are you coming back to Stockton? Is that in the future? Because if it's not broken, why do you fix that part of the sport?
Right. No, I mean, we're just waiting for this fucking coronavirus to be over with, and we'll sit down and I guess talk to Bob and talk to Jay and see how we're going to work it,
Exactly. So, you know what? With the new team that you have, man, I'm curious, Gabriel, because usually when you have the team you had before in that huddle, that quarterback is just calling plays. I'm curious, how is this new quarterback, this new player going to call those plays in that huddle? Is he going to take the leadership, or is he going to work with everybody? What's going to happen, man?
So look, at the end of the day, I call all the shots, Rich. You know that. This is my shit. This is my dream. This is my book I'm writing, right, with my son.
Right.
So I'm calling all the shots. Jay's the homie. Jay's a co-manager. Jay has a tremendous experience. I mean, that's what he's there for. He got big, big respect by Top Rank. So I think me and Jay work together. It's gonna be great. I mean, his mind and my mind together, it's scary.
How hard of a move was it, or how easy of a move was it for you, Gabriel?
I mean, for me, I thought about it a year. You know what I'm saying? I don't just jump into shit, man. I thought about it for a long time, and it fits Junior, man. It just fits. Junior's a different kid with a different swag. He's not. Junior don't need a fucking gimmick to sell himself. Junior's Junior, and when we are who we are, we don't need shit. We're just ourselves, and we fucking go to work. You know what I'm saying? We like the little flashy shit, but then we always been like that. Junior's always been like that. We've always dressed nice, even as an amateur. You know what I'm saying? You can ask anybody who's seen him, Shakur, all them in the amateurs, like, dude, Little G was always fly. Like, we always stood in the best jumpsuits. You know what I'm saying? The nicest Jordans and shit. Like, that's just us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's no longer Jordans, man. It's Versace suits and stuff.
Speaking of that, well, you watch. Give me like 2-3 fights. We're gonna shock you.
Okay. Hey, all right, man. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hey, look. Then I want to say one more thing about these little punk ass kids that be hating.
Okay, let me hear it.
One specific kid, man. Some kid from the East Coast, right?
Okay.
Talked a lot of shit about Junior. He wants to fight Junior with this and this and that and this and the third. We whooped his ass in the amateurs already. This motherfucker fights my uncle, the taco truck guy, and gets a draw. If you can't beat up the taco truck guy, don't fucking call Junior out.
He wants some of them Jordans, man. He wants some of that Versace.
Hey, bro, But come on, that's why you don't talk shit, because then you look stupid. You got to draw with the fucking taco truck guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Junior
you're not
don't have
coming
no
with
competitive
W's,
fights with nobody. We fuck everybody up.
yeah, if you're not coming with W's, there's no end for them. There's no
It's
game.
not
Like
close. The fights are not close. We're fucking people up.
McGregor, Conor, and Mayweather. Do you think Mayweather would have taken the fight with Conor if Conor didn't have as much momentum and entertainment value behind him as it was?
No,
if
no,
he didn't,
no.
he would have said no.
He wants some of Flores' marketability and some of that wave that's going right now.
Yeah.
So, Cole, you're listening to this, and you're 100% into marketing yourself. You're listening to this, and is it safe to say sky's the limit?
Pretty much at this point. It sounds like they've already got, like I said, they're ahead of the game on this one. They have a good product, they have a division, they have a direction, they know where they want to put him, whereas opposed to just having a good fighter and not really knowing where you want him in 5 years. They know where they want him in 5 years, they know where they want him in 10 years. And like you said, it's not just limiting to boxing. Like they're going to create a brand out of him, probably clothing line, suits, things like that. Like they have a vision for creating a long-term brand, not just let's get you paid while you're boxing. It's let's get you paid while you're boxing and set up a future. And that's where they're looking at.
Exactly. You know what? When you make those shirts, man, when you make those shirts and those hats and your whole team is there, who's going to be happy wearing those shirts and those hats? Is there going to be anybody does everybody still have the same job description? Is everybody still doing what they need to do, or is there different positions there, or is there different requirements now that you have a new manager? I'll say new manager, a manager.
Job. Everybody has the same position as before. We just added Jay. I mean, that's it, you know. But some people, I got different people taking pictures, different people taking video. I mean, somebody gets upset, I mean, they're welcome to leave anytime. But you know, this is our show. You know what I'm saying? This is our dream. This is our journey. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're making it happen, Gabriel.
And that's right, and I am gonna make it happen, Rich, man. I don't mean to sound cocky, but this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I fucking win. You know what I'm saying? In every fucking way. If this shit is premeditated. I didn't just do this shit. I thought about this shit. I've been thinking about this shit for years, Rich. You know what I'm saying? I told you about the Stockton Arena, how it was gonna go down. It went down like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Gabriel will be world champion within 18 months.
Hey, man, you heard it from the man himself.
Mark your calendar.
Yeah, definitely mark your calendar. Gabriel, I want to
mark that shit down right now. Mark that shit down.
I'm gonna write it down right now. Hold on a second.
Hey, then the next Stockton Arena shit's gonna be nice too, man. I'll get you guys ringside seats right there, chilling in front, man.
I like that.
There you are, man.
I like ringside.
There you are. Well, I want to work the event, so I'll take wherever they put me to work, man. I want to cover that stuff, but heck yeah.
And then look, I got another little message to these guys, like these fighters, man. Hey, you guys need to be positive. All this shit that happens is law of attraction, bro. You think negative, you're gonna be fucked up. You got fucked up people around you, goofy motherfuckers that just talk shit on social media all day. You're gonna fucking lose. Guarantee. You know how many motherfuckers we got like that around us, Rich? 0. Because I get rid of them fucking punks. Like, I get rid of that shit. That shit is weak. Talking about another man on fucking social media. That's not a man. That's a fucking fag. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. Tell him to his face.
Yeah, you know, hey, if you got a difference with somebody, let's talk it out. Don't block me or say some other stuff or.
That shit is goofy. Hey, that shit is corny as shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight this guy. Bitch, you got 2 fights. How the fuck you want to fight Lomachenko? Shut your ass up. Like, that's dumb.
That's barking, man.
If we want to fight somebody, it's because we're able to fight the motherfucker and we're gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who does Gabriel want to fight, Gabriel? Who's in line? Who's he looking at? There has to be somebody that draws his interest.
With a belt.
Okay.
And and it's been said already, man. It's been out there, but we don't know. We can't predict the other people's future. They got to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're gonna keep winning or not. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. At 130, we snatching a title or 2. I don't know how long the kid could hold 130 because we're gonna shoot up to lightweight, you know, here soon. But we want to snatch a title at 130 for sure.
So you got a plan. You got a plan laid out since day one.
Right, and you know what? I'm gonna say something too. There's no hard feelings. I know ill will towards nobody.
Okay.
This is boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? But we need that strap.
Nothing personal, man. It's all business.
It ain't personal, but we need that strap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, man. Well, any champion out there today, WBA, WBC, WBO, or IBF, and if you got a strap, 130, hey, Team Flores is coming looking for it, and they don't discriminate. They'll take any bout, anytime you enter that ring and make it happen. Is that safe to say, Gabriel?
That's right. We're ready, man. We're ready. We're putting it. Hey, man, this training camp is crazy right now. Rich, we're fucking training at 10,000 feet elevation. You know what I'm saying? You want to see a brand new little G. You thought that little fucker was good now? Watch him now.
Where are you guys up at, Big Bear?
we're fucking training at Mount Charleston, running up that big ass mountain, hitting pads up there.
Nice.
12 rounds on the pads, 10,000
Like
hours.
freaking Drago without snow.
Yeah,
Hey,
basically.
bro, hey, that shit's real. I almost died out there. Fucking running.
Dude, there ain't no
I passed the
oxygen
fuck
at
out. I
that
was
level,
like, this shit
man.
is real. I better calm the fuck down. Heck yeah.
Well, you were kind of tuckered out a little bit, or you were getting choked
Bro, I
out
was
by the
fucking
wind?
I was running on my Nike app,
Oh, okay.
and I was bundled up, and this shit was like, run faster. I was like, all right. Fuck, I couldn't catch my breath. I was dying. It was because the fucking heat and the elevation fucked me up.
Lack of oxygen, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do that to you, and that'll humble you real quick, man.
Yeah, I better sit my ass down on flat land and be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, hey, exactly, but keep that energy. You still have that energy. Now listen, one day you're showing me your house in Stockton, man, and I liked it. And you're showing me all these plates that you're making, and then I see boxes being moved, boxes with tape being around there, and I'm thinking, okay, when you put stuff in boxes, you usually store things, but when you put the whole tape around, you're moving. And then all of a sudden, you're moving to Las Vegas, man. Talk to us about that move. When did it take place, and what's really going on with Team Flores, man?
All right. I mean, it was right before the Tyson Fury fight on the 22nd. It was a couple days before then. I already had bought the house in Vegas. Well, we had a lot of trouble getting sparring in Stockton, man. It's hard. I mean, we got to pay these guys. Some guys won't show up. There's only a handful of guys. Not even a handful. Like 2 motherfuckers, man. They would come and spar Junior. I mean, but we would have to pay them.
Yeah.
We moved to Vegas. Motherfuckers are lining up to spar Junior, and that's what I like. Hungry little amateurs. We got pros that are 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. I like that. We need that work. These guys are hungry. You know what I'm saying?
That was a career move then.
Oh man, it was the shit. We sparring world champions. Like, you know, it's like we started all over again, man. I know we needed that push.
And now you're only 10 minutes away from Stitch, Jacob Duran.
Yeah, my guy Stitch. Yeah.
I like Stitch.
Man, Cole, you're listening to these moves that are being made. A lot of people, they'll sit back and they'll talk about it, but Gabriel's about it. He's making it happen, man. He's taking these moves. What advice do you have for him? Because going into your career, sometimes you didn't make the moves, but sometimes you did, and you went balls out. You put your career on the line, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard one. It doesn't really, it's a hard spot for me to give him advice because he seems like he's doing everything not only right, but he's doing it right. Like he said, timing. He's doing it at the right time, with the right momentum, with the right fighter. It's just all the pieces of the puzzle have kind of been moving, it sounds like, for the last 18 months or so for him. And now they're all right where they need to be to finish the puzzle. Like, I want to solve the puzzle, Alex. You know, it's right in this way. So it's hard to give him advice. I mean, it sounds like he's already doing everything right. Like, I couldn't really tell him anything that he's not already doing. That's just going to be like, he doesn't really sound like he needs my advice. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing everything right. Like, it's exactly what you should be doing. You have a goal. You have a big picture. They're not just looking at the next fight. They're looking at the next fight and 5 fights down the road. The belts that they want to pick up, what travel they want to take, what path they want to take. We'll fight that guy, then that guy. And it's intentful. So advice to be looked both ways when crossing the street? I don't know.
No, there you go. No, he's definitely doing the things that he needs to do, man. Gabriel, as you know, live boxing returns tomorrow in a top rank event with Shakur Stevenson, man. I mean, and then this was going to be my next question. How are you going to adapt to fighting without a sold-out Coliseum, a big crowd, without a live crowd there?
I mean, I don't think it's a problem, Rich. I mean, he's been fighting since he was 7. I don't see it as a problem. It's probably going to seem like sparring, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just me and him and the other group. That's pretty much it, but except somebody's going to get fucked up real bad. That's about it.
Man, you know what? How's Gabriel dealing with everything? How's he dealing with the move? Because I know he was really involved in the community with Stockton. You know, even talking to the kids. Kids looked up to him. People out there, adults, and now his permanent residency is Las Vegas. How is he adapting?
Man, it's not a change at all in that sense, Rich. He's back after this fight. He's back in Stockton, you know, with his people. I mean, anytime the school wants him to show up, he'll show up. Anybody needs us, we're here for them. Like, they know that. I mean, that's just some we're on some training shit over there. We just got to train over there, Rich. I mean, but Stockton's always going to be our home. We always coming in with that 209 flag for sure.
Yeah, I was reading a statement, and he said something to the effect like, "I can't wait, Cole, for my next fight to come in with my hometown flag." And they gave him the key to Stockton, California, man. Nice. The mayor was there, handed it to him in a belt.
Hey,
that's cool. And
shout out to our fans at 5590 too, Fresno too, man. We got love for them too, man. It's just, you know, we had to go do our move, you know. We had to do, hey, if you want different type of money, you got to do different type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, I guess we're moving to Vegas, man.
Hey, be comfortable or grow. You can't do both.
Telling you, you can't do the same shit and expect different results.
Yeah, that's the definition of insanity.
No, it is, and just going for it, believing in your craft and believing in what you do, and knowing that you're not going to get it where you're at, so you have to make those moves, those career moves, and you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please everybody when you win and you're successful. You're not going to please everybody even if you face defeat. You're not going to please anybody if you buy a certain car or a certain color, but you've been able to adapt to those that point the finger, that spread the rumors, that put the thumbs down when you walk by, and you surround yourself with strong, successful, business-rich people, man.
Hey, Rich, I mean, it's not about, I don't have time to worry about what people think. If I worried about what people thought, I would not be fucking sitting here right now. I'll tell you that, Rich. I'd be fucking in prison or some shit. Like, you can't. You got to stay positive through all this bullshit, through any, there's a lot of events in your life that happen. You got to stay positive, man. If not, that shit's going to eat you up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't let it consume you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. If you can't control it, why worry about it? You know what I'm saying? Just worry about you and your future. That's it.
See?
Exactly. That's
Don't
it.
worry about the haters. Fucking let them hate. They're gonna hate no matter what. Let them hate.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
And I promise you this: the same motherfuckers that talk shit, those same lips are gonna kiss our ass in about a year and a half.
Yeah,
Mark
that
my
sounds
words.
about right.
Same lips.
That's usually
Same
what
lips.
happens.
Same lips.
That's usually what happens, man.
Bugging you for tickets, asking for autographs.
Can I get a picture? Fuck off. I'm gonna remember. I'm writing these motherfuckers' names down right
You're
now.
in the
down
fucking
to
book. You're in the
motherfucking
book.
So-called boxing experts, all those fucking goofy fat fuckers, writing their names down. When they come up, oh, you're the greatest. I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out of here.
Let me look at my book real quick. Yeah, no, you're okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Shit, hey, motherfuckers that rock with us from the beginning are gonna get love.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you know, you gotta wait.
Yeah, pack sand and wait, man. We had the guy that we were on the team the whole time. Yeah, that's how you have to. You have to
There's
take
gonna be
care of the team.
reporters in the fucking in front of me, and there'll be motherfuckers way back that fucking rock with us back in the day. I'm like, fuck you. Oh, you gotta wait. I'm gonna call you guys all the way the fuck up. Mark my words. Watch that when I do it, Rich.
Okay, man. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'll be looking for it,
You
man.
ain't gotta hold me to it. You're gonna see and laugh your ass off when I do it.
I like it. I
Okay,
like it.
hey, okay. I'm waiting,
I
man.
don't give a fuck who it is. ESPN kiss my ass too. Like, we fuck with ESPN, but if they're over there with their bullshit, like, hey, fucker, you were interviewing us before. These guys were interviewing us first. They gotta fucking wait.
I like it.
Hey, there you go, man.
Principles.
Hey, that's how I get down. Hey, that's how it is, bro.
No, yeah, I mean,
You know, I remember everything, man. I remember motherfucker give me 50 cents for a bus stop when I was a kid. I'll remember that shit, and I'll come back to him.
that's real talk, man.
Hey, I remember Jay, just speaking on that, Jay Prince told me a story, right? He was fucking drowning as a kid. And dude saved his life, right?
Yeah.
And he fucking showed up at some place, I don't know, but they were like, yeah. Jay was like, I want to find a lifeguard to save my life. So the word got spread out. He wanted to meet the lifeguard, and there's 30 motherfuckers he had to interview, and they all fucking lied.
That's 30 pieces of shit, dude. That was live.
Exactly.
They wanted to pay for that Jay Prince money.
That's bad, bro. That's when you
They
know
wanted
you're
that Lambo, man.
Yeah, that's that Lambo
Motherfuckers
money,
are
man.
crazy, bro.
Damn, 30 dudes to interview them and be like, it wasn't you.
It wasn't you. Let me just jump back in there and let me see.
Right? Let me just see where
I'm not gonna go
Captain
through
is.
that extreme, but yeah, let me see.
It takes extreme things, man, when you realize it. But he makes a good point. So you realize that
It does.
you just have the money. People are just gonna be like, please, gimme.
Exactly. Gabriel, what's your take on? I know you can't predict the world, but I'm going to ask you this anyways, man. I mean, when are we going to see live fights again? When do you think? What's your hunch? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? I'm talking about people in the crowd.
Like you're talking audience and all that
Yes,
shit, right?
yes, sir.
I would personally say September.
Okay, well, that's pretty close.
Yeah, near the end of
Because
summer.
they said we weren't gonna do shit for a long time, and shit's already opening up. You know, they just
Yeah.
got way carried away with the bullshit. I say September.
Okay. So what's your take on the whole, and I don't know if you want to touch on this or not, but I got to ask you, man, on everything that's taking place, some of the rioting, some of the lootering, some of the law breaking, and some of the positive stands and the kneeling, and what's your take on everything that's occurred since the unfortunate death of George Floyd?
I mean, I think it's very unfortunate, man. I feel for the family. I feel for what happened, but you know, Rich, that's not really my thing, you know, to get involved in those things. You know, it's super negative. There's a lot of shit going on. I don't watch TV, Rich.
How are you taking care of yourself? How are you being smart about everything that's occurring in this world right now that's taking place, Gabriel, is what I'm asking.
Worrying about me and little G.
Okay, enough said.
That's it. How the fuck can I improve myself and this kid? How can we get better? How can we get some more money? How can I secure my family's future? How can I secure Gabriel's kids' future? That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about that shit. So this shit doesn't affect the next generation of the Flores. That's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about that shit. I can't control it, Rich. Why worried about it?
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean,
And
all
it has nothing to do
I
with
can do is
me,
be
you know
smart.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you know what? I got 3 questions already coming in right here, man. And if I don't address this right here, man, then this is not the talk show of everybody's talk show. I'm going to ask you point blank, black and white right now. This question is coming in from Jason Alexander. Ask Gabriel, I want to know if he can hint, how did that conversation go when you talked to your longtime friend, your longtime associate, your longtime business partner, Rick Meridian? How did that conversation take place, and what was it like?
What do you mean? When we first met?
No, when you let him know that, hey, we're making a move and we're moving forward. The addition to the team is what I'm asking.
I mean, I think, at first he didn't kind of get it. You know, I think he kind of disagreed, but the more I talked to him for like an hour, explained things to him, that he got it. Rick's understanding. He's a smart individual, you know, and he understands I have a big vision for my son, you know, global vision, you know, and that was it. I mean, he got it. I mean, nothing changed with Rick. Rick's still on the team. That's my boy still. I got love for Rick. Little G loves Rick. I mean, the only thing is Jay's, you know, a part of the team now. That's about it. I mean, everybody takes shit out of proportion and blows it up bigger than what it is, you know. But, you know, that's how people are, you know. And I heard the Central Valley was really upset, too, you know. I heard about people talking shit. I mean, you know what, though? To them, if they're listening, just kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck what you think. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do our shit. You know, and I guarantee you, all the people talking shit don't got one signed fighter, not one. See, if they worried about themselves, they'd probably be in a better position.
Yeah, spending too much time and energy worrying about other people's shit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go eat this fucking lobster right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be thinking about them.
Exactly. Here's one. I thought it was the same question, but it's from a principal, Prince Marshall. He asked, how did you and Rick ever meet? Did you guys play basketball together, or did you guys play poker together, or how did you guys meet?
No, we got into it on social media. Actually, well, you know that story, Rich.
Actually, I don't. I've heard different things, but I've never really heard the whole how it went down. I know.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you.
You shared a little bit with me, but we were both drinking that day.
So I was on social media one day, and somebody said something about Little G's the truth. He's about 15 years old. Yeah. This and that. And I'm like, yeah, well, thanks. And then I think Rick jumps in and is like, how is he the truth if I don't know who he is? And I was like, oh, shit. It's over right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. So we started going at it and shit back and forth. And then he called me, and then we met up, man. And I mean, Rick is a smart dude, man. He's hella cool. I mean, and we hit it off, man. And we made a deal, and that was it. The rest was history. You know, he told me about the Stockton Arena and what he could do, and with Topic and all that shit. And I was like, bet. You know, we never signed a contract, but I paid Rick every fucking dollar I ever owed him. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we got that code. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the code I'm talking about with me and Jay. Like I talked to Jay for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I didn't even have to look at the contract. I did look at the contract, but you could just tell when somebody's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jay is a different type of dude. Like, he don't need to fucking get over on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, hey, he's successful, and he actually doesn't need anybody, but he reaches out.
He don't say what he can do. He fucking shows it, and that's what I'm about. I don't say what I can do. I'm gonna show you, bro. Like, just watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure everybody's watching right now, but I'm a more. I could show you better than I could tell you in every way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to know something? Come up to me. You know what I'm saying? Ask me. Like, you know, I can show you better than I could tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Cole, you've never met Gabriel Flores Sr. personally, and you've got to see some Gabriel Jr. in action. When he comes back down to Fresno or even Stockton, man, we got to have that lunch together or that lobster. And don't forget, he's going to get you those ringside seats, man. Exactly. So what advice do you have for Junior?
Realistically, the only advice I could give somebody in Junior's position would just keep listening to the plan. Keep trusting the plan. Keep trusting what Dad's trying to do. it's all been working so far. So far, it doesn't sound like he's had any reason to second guess everything that senior's been doing. He knows what he wants. He clearly knows he's talented. He knows he's talented, and he's making sure to not just get by on that. Like, it seems like they're up 10,000 feet. It seems like Junior's not just trying to take natural talent and be like, oh, I'm the best. It's, I got lucky and got natural talent, and now I'm going to that puts me into position to earn as much as I can, and they all see that. So I would just say keep doing what you're doing. Keep trusting the program. Everyone's got a plan for you. You're surrounded by the right people. Just stay on that path. Like, don't let anyone talk you into anything different. You're doing it right where you need to go.
And what about, it's always hard when dad tells you, because you know that father and son relationship, but they've been doing it forever, and you got some instance where it doesn't work, but it seems to be working correctly so far.
Yeah, we've seen a couple father-son combo scenarios where, like, with the Olympic team and this and that, and then there's some where it's just like, wow, where's the blame? This sounds like from the get-go it was, I'm dad first, and every decision I make for you, everything I do for you is going to be to get you to where you need to be. Like he said, secure his kid's future. So as long as he trusts dad, it sounds like he's trusted him since day one. As long as he stays with that, he's going to be in the right place. It just sounds like it's like, dude, I got you. This wasn't like, how do I worry about your career making this money? It's, how do I get you to where you need to be in the future?
Exactly. Hey, Gabriel, I got to ask you, man, on a different note, man. What have you splurged on lately? What have you gotten that has nothing to do with boxing, nothing to do with eating, because you're turning into a chef too, just like Rick. I've noticed that.
Hold on. Before we get to that, let me touch on that topic you guys were just talking about.
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna let you guys know something. Like, I'm gonna let you guys learn a little secret. Everybody with these boxing teams, a little secret, right?
Okay.
If you guys worry about the fighter more than your fucking pride, or what people are going to think about you, or if you can't do the job, like some trainers, you know, I can't take the kid to the next level, let me call another trainer in. But there's too much pride to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't do this management job. I can't do it, so let me bring another guy in. That never happens because of pride, Rich. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about the kid. When you put the kid first and your ego to the side, everything works perfect, bro. That's what we're about. Everybody, the cameraman, the video guy, I mean, everybody it's about Junior, bro. And when it's like that, shit, it works perfectly. And you can't lose like that.
No.
If there was another motherfucker that could train my son better, Rich, I promise to God he'd be sitting right here. But there's not. You know what I'm saying? There's not. The IQ, I mean, the things that Junior knows, his footwork, his counter punching, I mean, that shit's a little bit too much. Junior end up teaching the fucking trainer, you know? I'm just keeping it real.
No, I can sometimes see that happen.
Hey, I was I was one of the coaches in USA in Russia for the USA team, and I seen some terrible shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Gabriel never went to the fucking Colorado Springs because of that shit. You know, those motherfuckers can't. Some of them can't teach a dog to sit. It's fucking bad. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And that's what I'm saying. Some of these trainers, you like your kid, he's talented, and you feel like he can't go to the next level. Put your pride to the side and let that kid go to another trainer and just co-assist. I mean, that's all you can do. But I see a lot of talented kids don't get nowhere because the coach want to still be the coach and he don't know the pro game.
That pride be fucking them up. Yep. That's what it is right there. Their self-pride is getting in the way of allowing that kid to excel.
That's exactly what it is, bro. I mean, and that's it. I mean, take that with you, man, and hopefully the kids are listening, bro, and hopefully the coaches are listening. Like,
yeah, I've always said that, man.
You just got to come to a point like, hey, this kid's not getting better. He's not getting better because you're not getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
yeah.
Rich, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to learn. Wherever I can get, I'll try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But, you know, right now, I mean, we're doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
I've always told him, if you're the best at your gym and you're not getting better, you got to expand. You got to move. And if your coach is mad with that, yeah, you got to expand. You have to be challenged. If you're beating everybody up at your gym, you're not going to beat the guy in the ring next. No. It's just not going to happen. So you got to expand. And if you have a coach that goes, no, you can't do that, fuck him, you're out. Yeah. Like, you have to expand for you.
There's a lot of coaches like that.
Yeah, you're living for them, not for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Rich. Now we could jump to your question. I just want you to say, look, I might sound crazy sometimes, man, but I tell the truth, bro. And the shit I'm spitting to you guys right now and to these kids, that shit's for them. Like, you know, for them so they could progress, bro. Like, I'm not a greedy person with my information, bro. If they wanna learn something, they wanna know something, ask me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of motherfucker, I'm like, get rid of him, do this. I'll set you up. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? I know what to do.
No. I know this.
Work, bro.
No, I agree. And you know what I'm laughing at is because our conversations on the phone have been a whole podcast show, man. I mean, we'll talk on the phone, and we could have had 2 shows already.
Right.
And you keep it real, man, and you're very informative. I appreciate that, man. But no, what I was asking you was, what do you do when it's just your time? It has nothing to do with boxing, nothing to do with cooking, because I know you have some hobbies that are out there.
My time?
What do you like to do?
Me right now, just kick it with my family. Like right now, I'm kicking it with my girl. I'm gonna have dinner, just chill, man, relax, have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Take my little runs in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of over the party and shit, like going crazy at the club and shit. But don't get me wrong, I will do it again. Like if give me a reason to celebrate. I don't celebrate for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, what I was talking about, what do you go splurge on? What do you like to buy? Is it jeans? Is it cologne? Is it watches? Is it shirts?
Clothes, bro. I like clothes, shoes. You'll catch me at the mall every fucking weekend. I like clothes, man. I like jewelry. You know that too. Like,
Gotta be flashy, man.
Shout out to Carl Eyeline. Yeah, for sure.
That's right. Cole, every man has to have that, man. That's his money. He needs to eat, and he needs to just. That's me. That's my serenity, so to speak. So when you hear that and you knowing they're going in the right direction, that's 100% perfectly fine. Because a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, don't do that. You should plan." Listen, man, you're not going over the board buying yachts and Ferraris and giving them away. Cole, when you hear this,
hey, it's funny you say that, Rich. I got a fucking DM the other day because I just bought this Lexus, right? And I got a DM, and then they see the jewelry, they see all that shit, bro. But look, don't splurge your money like that. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up and stay in your lane. How do you know I pay for this shit? You know your boy got mouthpiece, Rich. You know I don't pay for shit. And for most of the shit you guys see, I don't pay for it, man.
Sponsored, donated, because they want their brand out there.
Hey, bro, hey, I'm a co-hustler, bro. You already know that. You know what I'm saying? I was something else before this shit. You know what I'm saying? I know what to do, bro. Hey, Rich, give me the ball. I know what to do, bro.
Exactly. I almost posted your logo today, but I said no. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. That's him. That's his. I didn't talk to him about that, and I was gonna do that. What does it say? All hustle, no luck.
That's right.
So I don't believe in
you
luck.
know what? That's the best shit for us. It is exactly what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all. It's
Ain't
all
Nobody
about
handed shit. Hey, nobody handed me shit, Rich. Nobody's handed me a motherfucking thing.
effort and commitment.
There it is, man.
That's all it takes. That's literally all it takes. Like he makes it.
Hey,
He just makes it so
fucking
intense.
focus, bro. Quit worried about the stupid shit.
See? Yeah, focus. That's all it takes. If I could tell young kids today, I would say just listen to him.
Quit talking about another man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Exactly.
Dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Dumbass. Come on, bro. Quit
love
talking
it.
about another dude. Go to work.
I love it.
Gabriel is definitely wound up, but when you meet him, I mean, he has a side to him that he's relaxed. He's really calm and collective, and he'll even let you get close to his line. Just don't cross it.
Yeah.
That's just the whole thing, and that's safe to say with any man. But that's a man that's solo. But when you have a responsibility and you have a whole team and your whole identity, a whole brand, and of course your son is involved, your hair starts to stand up.
Hey, you know what it is too, Rich? It's not that I get wound up. I'm passionate. This is what I do, and I know I'm gonna
it's
kill it.
passion. It's passion and, like I said, commitment and effort.
Hey, bro. If this was chess, I'd be fucking yelling checkmate already, bro. I'm killing these boys. We're gonna kill these boys.
Hey, man,
If we were running
I'm
a race,
excited.
I'd be lapping your ass right now. You know what I'm saying?
And how old is Junior? Is he 19?
Grace just turned 20.
Oh, dude can't even drink yet.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you.
The youngest one
Guy.
the youngest one to sign with Top Rank Boxing.
Yeah, that's right. That's dude. Sky's the
Can't even
limit,
fight in
bro.
the States when he first signed.
He's gotten to a level already at 19 or 20 where most guys in their mid 20s, late 20s don't even reach. So he's so far
Hey, Rich,
ahead.
17-0, and not one fucking Tijuana fucking fight in TJ like these guys do. Not one.
Yeah.
All real fights.
The gimme fights?
The gimme
Yeah, no
fight.
gimme fights, bro.
yeah.
What's that negotiation table like, man? Now, you don't got to mention numbers or anything. How long do those negotiation meetings last, Gabriel? The ones that you're involved in.
For a signing or for a fight purse, I mean, when we got Little G signed, man, I fucking sat in the office for 4.5 hours arguing with Todd DeBuff and the lawyer. We were going at it, bro. Like, but hey, you want what you want. You got to fight for what you want, bro.
That's true. You can't. No one's gonna give it to you.
No,
If you want it, you have to go out and get it.
And at the same time, you got to sell yourself and let them know what they're buying. I mean, people don't know how to sell shit, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll sell fucking ICHARD Eskimo, bro. Like, I know what the fuck to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So how you build a better igloo?
You can't just ask for money and that's it. You have to know what you're selling.
Well, when you're selling that ice, Gabriel, I'll probably be able to borrow a couple pieces of ice, and then I'll give them back to you later on. But that's a whole different story, man.
Back, Rich. When we make, we'll be fine, bro. We'll be eating good. We'll be good, chilling.
All right, that's good, man. That's good. I'm looking forward to that, man. But what I'm looking forward to is this: when they have a fight, Cole, they don't just walk into the ring with any getup, man. They put some thought into it. They create art. There's a process there. What are you going to surprise the world with this time? What colors are we working with this time for his walkout jacket, his shorts, from the gloves to the socks? What are we looking at this time?
It's going to be new. It's going to be fresh, like always. It'll be new. It'll be fresh, like always. But the only thing messed up is the walkout, man. There's no people, so, you know, we got to hold off on some shit. I got some big plans for that, though. But we're going to hold off until there's a crowd.
Who came out with that goofy-ass costume? Was that Wilder? Was that Deontay?
Oh, yeah, with
with the big-ass, heavy Skeletor-looking outfit. Hey, what do you think about that? That outfit Deontay Wilder was like 40 fucking pounds?
That shit was crazy, bro.
Right?
That shit was fucking bananas. But the only thing I didn't like is for him crying and blaming the outfit. Come
exactly.
On, bro. You tried that motherfucker on. He tried that shit on.
Exactly.
He got his ass beat. That's it.
Looking for an out.
That's it. And that's weak. That's weak.
Take the ass whooping, man. Take the L.
Take it. Just ask for a rematch, but take it.
There you go.
Man.
Yeah. Be like, you got my ass. Okay, let's go. Round 3. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he got to say.
Well, I look forward to it then.
Exactly. So, Gabriel, how long before we get the big fights? Not from Gabriel. I'm talking about, you know, like the rematches with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the one a lot of people were waiting for, the fans, Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. When do you think those are going to take place?
Next year. Next year, bro. Lomachenko is fucking over there in UK. Like, they're not going to let him come over here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit's got to be next year, bro. And Wilder, I don't think they don't want to fight without a crowd. There's too much money they're going to lose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That has to be next year for sure.
That's true, man. So who gets the phone calls? Is it you, Gabriel? Who do they contact first? Of course, it's you. Are you the one initially actually getting the phone call, said, hey, we want this for Gabriel, or how does this opponent sound, or hey, are you available for this month, this time?
I get the call. I get the call.
Now, how does that conversation take place between you and Junior? Hey, son, what do you think about this? Or is there ever, let me ask you this, is there ever a call that Junior doesn't need to know about because you made a father and a professional career decision, like we're not even going to mess with that?
No, I mean, look, I try to inform Junior about everything. I'm actually trying to get him to learn the business, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to learn the business. I want him to learn the numbers. Just in case one day I might not be here. You never know what happens, you know what I'm saying? But I do try to get him involved. But as far as the opponent, no, Gabriel has nothing to do with the opponent. I decide on the opponent. I know what Junior is ready for, what he's not ready for. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel will fight fucking King Kong if it's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I'll decide that shit, though, you know? And me and Jay will fucking negotiate.
There you go. Everybody stay in their lane and contribute to their strengths.
Stay in your lane, bro. Everybody stay in their lane. Everybody will be good.
Yeah, everyone's a part of the machine. If you just know your spot, everything works. If you start trying to do your extra shit,
it's a machine, bro. Like, people need to understand, it's a machine. Takes more than one person, for sure.
Yep, always more than one person. That's why it's a team. Otherwise, it falls apart. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have a negotiator, man. You know what it sounds like, Cole? And I'm going to go there, too. It sounds like if somebody was about to jump off a freaking cliff or something, they're not going to call these counselors something. They're going to call freaking Gabriel Flores Sr. and they're going to say, hey, my man, check it out. Stop this young man from jumping off this cliff, man, because the guy seems to be a voice piece, a mouthpiece. And, hey, it's always good to use it to your ability and to help people. And I know I'm going overboard, and that's a different, exaggerated example, but when did you know that you had it, Gabriel? When did you know that, hey, I can convince people with my mouthpiece? I can convince them with my conversation, but yet my actions need to take over. When did you know you had something here?
It's not convincing. I mean, it's believing, man. And I know what I got, and I know what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I could back it up.
Gabriel, I'm talking about in life, not just in the ring or opponents. Everything that you seem to do, you always have a part in.
Hey, trial and error mindset. Trial and error, bro. You learn. If you learn from us, I got people that fucking died, got shot in front of me. Fucking, I got stabbed. Crazy shit, bro. You live and you learn, bro. And you got to make a decision. I mean, and then you know what? The best thing you can do is get rid of people. Hella negative people. Get rid of those motherfuckers. Surround yourself with people that want some shit. Like they want to
They have
keep going,
goals.
get bigger. That's how your mind grows, bro. You just don't, you develop this shit. Like I'm a part of my environment. Like, but I decided to do, you know what I'm saying? Something big, something better, you know? I could have sold hella dope, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I did this shit.
You know, you're absolutely right. And sometimes people get rid of themselves. They make it so easy for you to make that decision because you're just not getting it. And it's just not the way it needs to be.
If you want to be a millionaire, you're not going to ask a fucking homeless guy, how do you do it? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
That's the truth, bro,
you have
know?
to see.
Gabriel, where you at right now, man?
I'm in Stockton, man. I just put up to the steakhouse with my girl.
Oh, okay. Well, next time you need to get your ass in studio, man, because we're having a good time over the phone, but there's nothing like having you in studio like we had last time. Actually, that was one of, I'd have to say, one of my top 5 shows of that whole year when you guys were both in studio.
The top show. I'm the top show. And, all right, I'm gonna get going, man. I gotta have dinner with my girl.
Wait. Hold on a second. Okay, tell your girl to hold on 2 minutes, man. What are you ordering? What is Gabriel Flores eating right now?
I don't know. We just walked in. I think I'm gonna have like maybe a lobster tail and like maybe some chicken. I've been eating a lot of steak. I've been eating that more, so I'm gonna change it up today.
All right, man. What do you got to say to all the fans and the followers that watch and support Team Flores?
Tune in June 18th, ESPN.
Hey, you heard it from the man himself. Hey, Gabriel, always a pleasure. We'll be talking to you soon, and give me a call this weekend, man. We'll chop it up again.
All right, for sure, man. All right, Rich.
All right,
have a good dinner, Gabe.
Thanks for the time.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. He needs some more confidence, man.
I mean, if that guy has any more confidence, it's going to start pouring. But that's the thing is, he's the kind of guy that I wish I had the chance to ask him is when is he going to start recruiting other fighters under him, under what he's doing? And look at what I did with my son.
Yeah.
I made him a fucking superstar. Yeah. I made him a global star.
And
he may be planning on it. He may just be waiting until he gets junior to a certain point and and say, okay, we did what we did. But the dude, I don't know. The guys, you look at confidence, not just confidence, but confidence and focus. He has a direction. He understands what needs to be done and where he needs to go. Yeah. Versus just, you can have all the energy and the confidence in the world, but you know.
Here's the thing. Besides asking that question that everybody was asking me to ask, and if I can't ask this question, then remove the microphone and take the headset off me and go get somebody else. But I believe I'm truly the best at what I do, and iron sharpens iron, and I'm only this well because of ESCOVEDO, KP, and the rest of the Fighters Voice team. Shout out to Sophia handling all the paperwork, what have you. But I would, and Bobby bless us with the studio. But I will say this: the direction he's going in his mindset, his team, they're very successful. But you're going to have namesayers and those that I know, because everybody's opinionated, and so am I. I have my opinion about all the statements that were being said, but I don't know the whole facts. I don't know. I can sit from afar and say, okay, what really happened, or is this going on? But when you see it develop and you see it progress and it starts to shine and it has life, how can you doubt that?
Yeah, he basically, I guess, like a garden.
Yeah.
He planted the seeds, he watered it, he gave it sunlight, he did everything he was supposed to do, and he committed to it. He didn't skip watering times. He did it exactly when it was supposed to be, the exact same time every day. He gave it the exact amount of sun, and then he would block the sun. I mean, he's doing everything, right? Yeah. Now it's just the plants are growing. Now everyone's going to start seeing, oh, you know, we called him an asshole, or we were hating on this and we were hating on that. The next thing you know, like you said, 18 months down the road, he's going to be at a point to where everyone's going to be like, oh, dude, can we get on that card? Can we get, you know, how do we get that fight with you? Like, once, I would say, from my limited knowledge of boxing experience and stuff, that say that once you get to a point to where people are asking to fight you, you've gotten to a point to where now you're doing something right. Once you really get there is when you get guys that are high-level guys that, like, you know, all these guys that are asking for fights. He's like, you're beating the taco guy. You're not beating anybody. It's that's the step one. Now they've got people asking, but it's going to get to the point to where your Lomachenko level guys, your Jose Ramirez level guys. Granted, they're all in different weight classes, but these guys are going to start going, have my people talk to their people. Because when their manager calls you and says, hey, how do we put this together?
And, you know, there's levels in this, different levels. In the 130-pound division, 135, 140, there's nothing but dogs in there, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And, you know, there's some gyms out there too, man, that they welcome some good sparring. But as a father, as a manager, as an advisor, you have to take the smartest path. There's a time and a place for every single level. Or, hey, when I'm going to walk into this gym and, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez just didn't say, okay, all of a sudden my first fight, I'm fighting for the belt. You know, there was a learning experience and there was a curve that takes place. And I know a lot of people that are in the marketing, a lot of people that are familiar with Team Flores, different networks and what have you. And everybody, the same fire that Gabriel has, whether it's vocal or not, everybody has the same belief in their product, in their brand, in their company. So he's one of many, but I believe he has what it takes, an advisory board, and has what it takes to get where he needs to get. But you got to remember, it is not a race. It's a marathon, and to stay focused. Yeah. And I believe he's in good hands right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not a sprint. It is a marathon. You're right, 100% on that. And he's taking the steps. He's not. Everyone wants to, like I said, all these guys that are calling him for fights and stuff, they're trying to take the fast track. They're trying to say, oh, well, I'll just go and I'll talk shit and I'll pick a fight with that guy, which tends to be like the business model for success, but only if you're at a certain level. Like we were talking about McGregor and Mayweather. Yeah. There's no way that if Conor didn't have the type of star power that he was having at the time, Mayweather would have been like, why? No. You're nobody. You haven't even had a fucking boxing fight. Yeah. But because Conor had such star power at that point, it made entertainment sense.
I'm glad you brought that up. Shout out for Floyd Mayweather again, taking care of the funeral expenses for Floyd, just taking the headache away from the family, man, because there's a lot, and I can tell you firsthand, there's a lot of mixed emotions there, man. There's hurt, there's pain, there's anger, there's numbness. And for somebody to say, okay, I'm going to take care of this part of it, it relieves you of a lot of stress and a lot of suicidal thoughts, a lot of thoughts that where you're just so angry and you want to do things without thinking. And what upsets me, man, is he's getting a lot of flack for that. People are saying, oh, okay, you're doing this. Okay, if he doesn't do it, then, hey, why didn't you pay for it? You have all this money. You're never going to make people happy, man. They're not going to be satisfied. If you give them $1, they want to.
Yeah, I mean, and I imagine those people that are giving him negative criticism on it, like you said, it's a catch-22. You either do nothing and they give you shit for it, or you do it. The only way you can do it and not catch criticism is to do it anonymously. That's literally the only way. Yeah. Like you just say, hey, go.
Okay, I'll say he does. We'll say he didn't tell nobody. That's Floyd Money Mayweather. They're gonna find out within days. Hey, guess who brought the check in? That's human nature.
But if he really wanted to be anonymous, he can be. If you really want to be anonymous, I could mail you a check tomorrow for $50,000, and there's no way you will ever know. Well, the thing is, you'll never know it came from me. Yeah. Like if I really don't want you to know, you're never gonna know. Like it's just there's ways to do it. People do it all the time. You'll hear about like some animal sanctuary or something got like some $2 million donation, and they'll go on TV, make a video, and say, hey, whoever donated this money, the organization would love to tell you that you're welcome to the park whenever, you're welcome to the life preserve whenever. We wish we knew who you were. Yeah. You know, and sometimes it's just some recluse dude somewhere who watched some National Geographic video and was like, oh, I love giraffes. And then fucking told his butler to go look up some giraffe sanctuary and said, you know what, Jeeves, send them $2 million.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
And it's like they don't need their name on a plate. They don't need their name on a plaque. They don't need so-and-so, dude, somebody sent us $2 million. We don't know who you are, but thank you.
What would you do $2 million, man?
What would I do?
Yeah. What would it start?
College tuitions, probably house for my mom, and then I think I would take a big chunk and buy a bunch of property somewhere. Something undeveloped, something where it's like 5-10 years from now, they're going to put a fucking gas station there. Yeah. They're going to put a little town there. They're going to put a neighborhood there. It's going to need a gas station. It's going to need a liquor store. Like, I would just buy property. That's like,
there you go. Can't go wrong, man.
Dude, that's the biggest thing about it. If like 10 years ago, I would have told myself, just buy fucking property out there. Buy one lot of Anchor. Somebody will buy it from you.
Yeah, they will. They will. I want to give a big shout out right now to Dog Boxer Athletics, my man Eric. He's going to be coming on this Fighter's Voice sometime next week. We had to reschedule him. He had to take care of some commitments, man. Graduation, you know, I believe his daughter was graduating. I don't know the whole facts, but Tuesday on the Fighter's Voice, we have Mikey Garcia. And I know, Top Rank Boxing is fighting Tuesday, so we're probably going to negotiate the time, see if we can move it to a special time and start at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6. Wednesday, my man, that's going to be all you. I'm going to be going in and getting my knee done. So, man, it's the ESCOVEDO Soul Train, Cold Train all day long, man.
Yes. Okay, well, we'll be doing some fun stuff. We'll obviously have a UFC 250 review that night then.
Yeah. Possibly, I think the mic went off real quick. Possibly that Wednesday and that Tuesday coming right around the corner, man. So that's going to be all you. You have some fun. You held it down before. Shoot. Do a great job.
It's funner with 2 people. I don't have anyone to argue with, but it's doable. I think I can manage. A little bit. I think I can manage.
Nah, man, I appreciate you stepping up, grabbing the plate, and rocking with it. So everybody in the UFC fans, my mic's just a little down, just a little bit. They got to see UFC take place, MMA, with no audiences. I believe we've had 3 events already. So for boxing, the long-awaited is tomorrow. Top-ranked boxing, as you can see, making it happen. Shakur Stevenson will be headlining that event, and live boxing again without an audience.
Where's that? Is that the Stockton event that Gabriel's at?
No. This will be in Las Vegas.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, dude. Then there's when's the boxing event? Friday?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay, so Thursday. Okay, on Thursday night they're going to throw it. That's interesting.
Yes, and then next Tuesday as well.
Where are they going to throw it at?
I believe they'll be in Vegas for a couple of events.
Is it going to be at the Apex Center?
I have no idea where it's going to be. I've heard rumor that it's going to be in their own gym, MGM. I've heard different arenas.
Oh, okay, so UFC is doing 250.
But see, you don't need a huge arena. That's the whole thing.
You really don't.
You've seen UFC's last event.
Exactly. You just need an area large enough for a staging of the cage and the walkouts. Like that's really it. Yeah. You don't need a whole huge production. But they're going to do. UFC will be Saturday at Apex. The Apex Arena is where they're going to hold that. And again, it'll be an audience-less event. So I'm super interested to see how the boxing is perceived and what obviously the pay-per-view numbers are going to be.
I'm curious to see how their skills are. You know,
where everyone's been
how that gap has impact. You know, the rust but everybody, it's going to impact everybody.
Yeah, announcers, judges,
unless you're Dominic Cruz,
camera,
right?
I don't know. He got his ass kind of kicked.
Well, he did. I mean, look who he fought. Man. The guy's a nut.
That dude went to the WWE. Did you see that?
Yeah,
shit?
I saw that.
Say, who was walking out with
I saw Tyson.
Okay. Okay, guys, I love Mike. I love Tyson. I would much rather see him do bare knuckle or boxing, but bro, he does not belong in the WWE ring. No. He was so out of place there. Yeah. The timing was off. He was like leaning into the mic and yelling while the guy was talking. It's like, dude, no, Mikey, wait, you gotta wait your turn. Yeah. The guy, they just weren't quite sure what to do with them, and you could see them all moving back.
And you see all his partners in the back.
Vitor was there. Henry Cejudo.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, like they kind of. I mean, it was just. You know, and then they said something. You see Vitor going, "Oh no!" It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, Vitor. Stop it. All these guys that I saw, like Henry's there, and I was like, dude, Henry, you're like fucking belly button height to everybody there. What are you gonna do? So it was interesting what I'm curious to see what the WWE's gonna do with him and with like guys like obviously Vitor and Henry and stuff.
Well, they wanted to see what kind of reaction they would get, and now
they got a fucking laugh. That's for sure. Man, they got a giggle out of me because none of those dudes have any acting abilities.
No,
Tyson. Excluded because that dude's actually been in fucking movies, but when it comes to just throwing in the mix, wrestling's a lot of improv. Wrestling's a lot of improv. Yeah. Like, we want you to set this tone. Here's what we need you to do. The rest is just fucking do it, say it, be the character. That was not his area. That was not his realm.
No.
I'd rather see him in bare knuckle.
Stay in your lane, man.
The whole stay in your lane thing to me almost feels like I'm telling somebody.
Just tell them
you're
don't
not
do
good
it
enough to do it.
Well, okay.
Just tell them, be what you're good at.
You know what? Sometimes you got to be real blunt because some people just don't get it.
True.
And
True.
Hey,
you tell someone stay in their lane.
I'm going to take something off Gabe Flores' script, man. You have to make moves. You got to cut the fat, and you got to say, hey. Are you who you say you are? Then prove it. Let me see it done. The minute if I got to ask you, well, then there's a concern here.
True. If I'm second guessing what you're bringing to the team, then why do I have you on?
I want one less worry.
That's true.
I just want to get on here and just let it flow smoothly. I don't want to worry about ridiculous things that are happening.
Ridiculous.
And he's taking care of business, man. He's all amped up, man.
Dude, speaking of amped up, what's about to explode? No, Jones. Dude straight up told UFC, fucking use me or cut me loose.
Yeah.
Like, they're not giving him what he wants. But where's he going to go? My boy was saying, he'll go to Bellator. And I'd listed off like 3 or 4 dudes that he'd fight. I'm like, dude, he'd wreck all those fucking guys. Like,
there's nothing
Bader's
there
their champ at light heavy. He fucking crushed Bader.
The thing about it is, man, is you're talking about a man that's walking around, could be pound for pound the greatest ever to walk in, but his fight isn't with his opponent. His fight's with himself, man. He can't behave like a little kid.
His image. I'll give you this. He has been doing some stuff lately. I want him coming over here trying to kick some ass. I'll get Joe Soto on him. I mean, realistically, I think anybody can tell him. I've been telling him to face, Jones, you were fucking up. Like, I think you can tell it to his face. But the problem is I'm not saying it to him in a sense of I want to belittle you. It's saying it in a sense of, bro, you had such a fucking opportunity to be such a role model, and you. Bottom line is, you made mistakes. That's all there is to it. He made mistakes. Everybody does. Your mistakes just look bigger because of the platform you're on.
In UFC is very, very, very forgiving.
They are. Well, I don't really think the UFC is really that forgiving. If you think about it, the UFC is more protecting their investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not forgiving him anything. They're just like, how do we fix this with our lawyers so that we can keep him from being in jail?
Did they catch Dana on a bad night when he just let it fly and said, I really don't care? Or do you think he needs to give it some more thought process and these two need to come together and make it happen?
I think it's something that he was probably already aware of and was probably already frustrated with. And then when you have to deal with the press asking this repetitive question of the scenario, he wants to just go, look, we'll fucking sort it out. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, lies, this and that. I've never fucking lied to him, whatever it is. We'll tell you guys when we're fucking ready, is what I think Dana should just tell them. And goes, look, we're working it out.
Well, I know they wanted him to move up in weight, and he wanted to move up in weight money.
Exactly, and that's not a unfair or unrealistic request.
No,
if you want me to take a risk,
and the risk, and it is a risk.
It is, of course, it's a risk, but
it's a big risk.
At this point, I think he's done too much negative outside of the ring and not enough positive inside of the ring to balance out anymore. To where now they're just like, you're not a monster anymore. You're good.
But why not go vocal after you go to the negotiation table, and then they tell you no, and then you could say, hey, well, at least we tried. I've asked for this amount, and you know, because they're not going to give him $30 million. That's just not going to happen, man.
But that's the thing is, they might tell him no, and when he goes, why not? They're not going to have a legitimate answer.
No.
Oh, you're not worth it, or is it? If you're pulling the kind of fucking numbers they pull through the gate and the gates and everything, I mean, we've all seen the numbers. The UFC fighters really get from the UFC itself, fight purses themselves. Yeah. The percentages versus the gate and the pay-per-views is pennies. Granted, that's not counting fight bonuses, sponsors, Reebok deal, blah, blah, blah. Monster,
that deal's supposed to be wearing out pretty soon.
Yeah, that's coming up on its, like, I guess, statutes kind of thing, like the time.
Who do you think they're going to go with?
Honestly, I don't think, if they're smart, they're not going to go with anyone. If they want their fighters happy and they want to stay as just current as possible, they're just going to go, look, wear your own shit.
Yeah. Make some money.
If they want to have NASCAR, it's great. They can still have their main corporate sponsors at the UFC 250 brought to you by Monster.
Yeah, they tried it.
Let them. But why are you tried it, it didn't work. Fucking Reebok deal didn't work. Too many fighters lost too much money. You can't get that back. You pretty much almost had a class action fucking lawsuit to get your silver. Yeah. Let Reebok go.
People lost jobs because of that. And in this case, I won't speak on his behalf, it was a blessing in disguise. He moved on and then started making movies.
Exactly. So, and for people to say, oh, well, Reebok benefited from it and stuff. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, people bought UFC gear, but not because it was Reebok, though. They only bought it because you were making it. Yeah. So it was kind of a catch-22. And the UFC probably didn't see enough in sales to where they're like, we could just make our own product. They just wanted to save money is what they wanted to do. They didn't want to deal with making their own product line. They wanted Reebok to do it, and that's fine. But you fucked a bunch of fighters by doing it. Yeah. Now, granted, I'm not sure what the current state of it is. Actually might be better now. But I know when it first started, it was like dudes were making buttloads because they've had like 5+ fights, and you got dudes that should be making way more. They only had like 2 or 3 fights, so they're making shit. It's like, dude, what the fuck? So I would say don't have...
Fighters were definitely not happy. That was apparent.
They definitely were not. So I'd have to take a poll and see who's happy with the current Reebok deal, who's not, who thinks it needs to change. But personally, from what I know, I would say they should just be done with it. Let the fighters get paid by whoever they want to get paid by. If it violates your FCC rules or something, like you can't promote drugs, you can't promote alcohol, whatever, things like that, cool, keep those restrictions and whatever policies you have, but just let them go out and get sponsors. If they can't go out and get enough sponsors to make the kind of money that they could have been getting from Reebok, then them and their management team need to do a better job of branding and marketing themselves as a fighter. They need to be doing more. Like
or allow them to make a living.
True, but then you get the flip side of that coin.
Yeah.
Okay, the Reebok deal was all pre-COVID shit.
Yeah.
So after C19, how many of those businesses that were doing sponsorships are going to be able to afford to? How many of those businesses are even still going to be around? You can have guys that were like, yeah, I had like 3 sponsors. Well, they went out of business because of C19. So what do you do now? Now you need that Reebok deal. So it's a UFC's in a very unique spot. They're going to be exactly. They're going to be in a position to where they can now tell their fighters, look, we can offer you a consistent sponsor.
Yeah.
It may not be as much as you might get but it's like car dealing. You might get like 3 or 4 sponsors for one fight. And then the next fight, you get like 1. When in reality is the Reebok thing might have paid you more than that one sponsor might have paid you.
Yeah,
but the Reebok deal might prevent you from having had those 6 sponsors pay you 10 times as much. So it's a real there's a balancing act here, and again, that's just one more thing. Like there needs to be a fighters union so that they can kind of have some more control.
I think that's long. I think that's long overdue, man. I mean,
Way-
football has it, baseball has it,
way
basketball,
overdue.
everybody has it. They need it, and these other guys taking punches, and their career is not as long as the football player, baseball, basketball, etc.
I mean, realistically, if you really want to see a change in like MMA, purses, UFC purses, I can tell you how to do it. No one's gonna like it.
Let me hear it, man.
Okay. The top fighters, your top UFC fighters,
Yeah.
your top Bellator fighters, you all need to risk breach of contract, and you all need to just refuse to fight. If they just say nope until you pay us what we're worth, at the end of the day, Mike went
Boycott.
out. At the end of the day, they boycott it. What are the fight promoters going to do? Your whole fucking business model is based on a product that now will
Football
not
held
perform.
out, baseball held out.
Exactly. They've had football strikes. They've had baseball strikes. Why not? I mean,
It just comes
now
down
granted,
to the money, because they were
money.
able to hold out because like this virus, it's not affecting all the fighters. I mean, they're losing activity, but a lot of them, they're doing fine. Their bank account's great.
Some are, yeah, but those are the guys that were getting paid well beforehand
Yeah.
too. You get a lot of the guys that are on the lower tiers, and they're getting 1-2 fights a year maybe because they're on the roster because they're not really known yet. Where does it leave those guys? Those guys are working. They have to go get 9-to-5 jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, the top tier guys are getting the money they want though. That's the thing. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
They are.
So
They
they
are.
don't really-
It's that risk. It's that risk. Hey, I do want to give a shout out to Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. My gosh, iron sharpens iron. There's not dogs in there, bro. There's freaking mountain lions
Monsters.
in there, man. There is. There's cucuys in there, bro. There's cucuys in there, bro. Literally. When you walk in there, man, you better have your balls in your hand, your mouthpiece ready, and Robert controls all that, bro. There's monsters in there. Iron sharpens iron, man.
He doesn't have room in there for dull knives.
No, he don't.
There's no room.
No.
If there's a dull knife in that
No.
gym, it's because Gabriel brought it so that he can sharpen it. Fucking end of story.
Oh, there you go, man.
If you don't have the same skill level as everybody in there,
yeah.
it's because he brought you in on purpose
Yep.
to make you better because he saw something that said,
Yeah.
hold on, get that kid, let him come in, we'll make him this. And that's what I was going to ask him is, when are you going to start, just bringing guys in, having full camps for them, bringing
Yeah.
them in, making them part of the team, growing them up.
Well, right now his focus on, I'm talking about
Is on
back to
junior,
Gabriel
yeah.
Senior. He's focused on himself. He made some big moves, signed with the management. James Prince, who's very successful. He doesn't just sign anything. One thing I did want to add too, but it is what it is. He is the first Mexican to be signed with James Prince.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a big statement right
Oh,
there.
it is a big statement. It's I believe in what you're doing, and also, I was first to sign with Top Rank, and now I'm the first Mexican American to sign with your company, organization, management company, man.
Believe in the product.
Oh, you do, man. Say, hey, do we have anything before we lift off, man?
Real quick, guys, don't forget UFC 250 is going to be live from the Apex Center in Las Vegas. It's Nunes is headlining it. Cody Garbrandt's back against Rafael Asuano. You got Alex Caraceres on it. You got local fighter Alex Perez.
Yes.
He's going to be on there
Bro.
making his return. He's fighting
Man,
Juicier
he's the
Fournier.
goods, man. We got to
He
get
is.
him in here because we actually had him in studio, but we didn't. We just
Yeah,
kind
he
of
was-
borrowed
he
him.
was-
We just kind of borrowed his ass.
Yeah, we kind of borrowed him. We'll get him up after
Yeah.
we get this fight, but he'll
Yeah.
be fighting this weekend. So remember, guys, you want to support locals. There is a local fighting this weekend. He's fighting out a little more, guys. So remember, he's going to be on the card this weekend. We'll have our picks before the fight on weekend.
Yeah.
I've already kind of been looking at them, and then we'll go over it again next week, guys. Other than that, it's just that. Enjoy your retirement, Takea. Takea Mizugaki just retired. Announced his UFC fighter announced his retirement. Dude fucked my ass up. He beat me up, man. But anyway, he's retiring official, so he's going to move on to something different. I saw his
Commentating or
manager-
something, or what do you think?
I'm not sure. His manager didn't really give too many hints on it.
Yeah.
He just kind of posted it up there, letting the fans
Throw it up
know,
there, huh?
hey, he's retiring, he's done, he's move on. Wish him the best. So I'm not sure what Takea is going to move on to yet, but I mean, I'll just have to hit him up and be like, hey, what's up, killer? So, but he is going to move on. So enjoy it, man. Retirement. Everyone seems to be retiring lately. I don't know why.
Yeah. Hey, and a big shout out to, I don't like using the word former because we never use former when we say a Marine. The heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr., thank you for sharing the fighter's voice, that segment on your story. I mean, it really helps out. The man has 1.6 million followers, and he put that clip on there where he's talking about the fighter's voice, getting his opportunity, sharing the news with the world, and he broke it here on the fighter's voice, and he shared it today. So,
Thank you,
appreciate that, man.
Appreciate
we
that,
really
yeah.
do. And big shout out to Ernie Hymas. We'll be sitting down talking business, Fresno promoter, and he got some great ideas. Something to go along with, even though there's not going to be an audience, he's still going to make it happen. And that's what I'm talking about, people reinventing themselves and embracing the situation instead of always me making it happen, man. And that's, hey, big shout out to my dude right there. Again, Tuesday, Mikey Garcia, my man, 4-time division world champion, and be on the Fighter's Voice Knockout podcast. We'll probably have a different special time. We'll probably negotiate with KP and see if we can have him on at 5 p.m. so we can catch Top Rank Boxing live again in Las Vegas, Nevada. Big shout out to Lee Samuel, Brad Jacobs, Evan Korn, and the rest of the Christina Potcher and the rest of the Top Rank family, ESPN2, Timothy Bradley, et cetera, As always, Rich Ortiz, your host of the Fighter's Voice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. It's a wrap. Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying
I'm Bob Arum.
and always thanks for listening.